There is a strange little moment that happens in a lot of homes, usually on Fridays. A child appears near the kitchen counter, or by the couch, or beside a tired parent who has just sat down for the first time in 3 hours. They do not say much at first. Then comes the sentence, "Can I have my allowance?" And most parents, because life is already full, because the dishwasher is making that suspicious noise again, because one child still has only one shoe on, reach into a wallet or tap a few buttons on an app and send the money over. $5, $10, maybe 20. The child disappears. The parent moves on. Nothing dramatic happens. No warning music. No tiny accountant stepping out from behind the fridge with a clipboard. Just a parent feeling for a moment like a pretty decent parent. But somewhere in that quiet exchange, a money lesson may have landed. And the uncomfortable part is that nobody said it out loud. So before we talk about whether allowance is good or bad, we need to separate the pieces that usually get mixed together. We'll go through 4 of them. The hidden lesson in free allowance, the difference between allowance and commission, the 3-bucket system, and the moment most parents accidentally undo the whole lesson. That 4th part matters most, because it is where the lesson either sticks or quietly turns into a loophole. And the reason this matters is that children do not wait until adulthood to start forming money habits. The research is careful here. 1 weekly allowance does not ruin a child. Children have survived worse things, including school lunch pizza and birthday party goodie bags. But the pattern is hard to ignore. A Cambridge study on childhood allowance examined links with adult financial literacy, money attitudes, and time preferences. University of Michigan researchers also found that children as young as 5 already show different emotional reactions to spending and saving. 5. That is still the age where a cardboard box can become a house, a spaceship, and somehow a restaurant with terrible service. Yet money is already becoming part of the child's emotional map. Possibility, comfort, permission, control, or simply something that arrives. That is the allowance mistake. The real question is what the child begins to believe money is connected to. Start with the first piece, what free allowance teaches. If money arrives every Friday without effort, planning, or responsibility attached to it, the pattern is simple. Money appears. You wait. You ask. You spend. Then you wait again. A child does not need a lecture for that pattern to sink in. They watch what gets rewarded, what gets ignored, and what parents say while holding a $7 coffee that was absolutely needed for emotional survival. Repeat the pattern long enough, and it starts feeling like truth. Now compare 2 8-year-olds. One gets $10 every Friday, no conditions, no explanation. The other earns $10 by washing the car, sorting laundry, or organizing the cupboard everyone has been afraid to open since February. Same money, different practice. One child learns to wait for Friday. The other starts wondering what else they could do. That difference may seem small when the money is candy money, toy money, or whatever digital thing children are buying now that looks fake until it hits the bank statement. But childhood habits grow up. Candy becomes food delivery. Toys become impulse purchases. Game credits become app payments, subscriptions, buy now, pay later, and the adult sentence that has quietly destroyed many budgets. It's only $20 a month. That is how a paycheck gets slowly adopted by companies you barely remember subscribing to. That brings us to the second piece, commission. Commission means money is tied to extra value, not basic belonging. And that distinction matters. A child should not be paid for everything they do in a home. That can turn family life into a tiny labor dispute. Can you put your plate away? How much? Congratulations. You have created a very short consultant. Some things are household responsibilities. Making the bed, putting clothes away, clearing dishes, keeping a bedroom from becoming a documentary site. Those are not paid jobs. Those are part of living in a shared space. But extra work can be paid. Washing the car, helping with dinner prep, cleaning windows, or taking out trash all week without being hunted down like a fugitive. That is commission. The task is clear. The amount is clear. Effort leads to result, and result leads to money. That leads to the third piece. Earned money still needs somewhere to go. Otherwise, the child just becomes skilled at earning money and immediately setting it on fire. That is where the three-bucket system comes in. Spend, save, give. 3 jars, 3 envelopes, 3 notes in an app. It does not need to be cute enough for Pinterest. It just needs to be visible. Spend is for now. Save is for later. Give is for someone or something outside themselves. That last bucket can be charity, a gift, helping someone, church, community, whatever fits the family. The point is that money is not only for appetite. It can also be for patience and generosity. For a younger child, it can be simple. If they earn $10, maybe 6 goes to spend, 3 goes to save, and 1 goes to give. For an older child, let them help decide the split. That conversation matters more than the math. The lesson is simple. Money has jobs before it disappears. Without buckets, money becomes one pile, and one pile usually becomes one purchase. Usually loud, often plastic, sometimes sticky. The save bucket creates friction. It slows the child down just enough to feel the trade-off. If they want a $30 item and they save $3 a week, now time enters the room. Waiting enters the room. Desire has to survive a few days without being fed. Adult money problems often begin when desire and payment happen too close together. One tap, one swipe, one small rush, then the quiet regret. A child who learns to wait with $5 has a better chance of waiting with $500. The CFPB treats planning ahead, waiting for wants, goal setting, and saving as building blocks for later financial well-being. Now comes the fourth piece, and this is the one most parents accidentally skip. What happens when the money runs out? This is where the system either becomes real or becomes theater. If the child spends all their spending money on Wednesday and wants something on Saturday, the answer has to be calm and boring. You can wait until next week, or you can find extra work to earn more. No speech, no courtroom drama. Just let the consequence do the teaching. If the parent tops them up, fronts them a little loan, or buys the thing anyway because everyone is tired and the child has activated courtroom mode in aisle 7, the lesson changes. The child learns that shortfalls get covered, and the gap between what they have and what they want belongs to someone else. That is basically credit card debt wearing smaller shoes. Let the $10 mistake stay a $10 mistake. A flimsy toy is a cheap lesson. Much cheaper than learning the same thing later with a car payment, a credit card balance, or rent due on Monday. The parent's language matters too. We can't afford that, may be honest, but to a child, it can make money sound like weather. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it doesn't, and everyone just stands there getting wet. Try. That is not what we are choosing to spend on right now. Same situation, more agency. Instead of, money doesn't grow on trees, try, let's look at what this would cost us. Instead of, stop asking, try, put it on your list and we'll come back to it in a week. Instead of hiding every financial decision, let them see a calm one. Let them watch you compare prices without panic. Let them hear, we're saving for something else. Let them see you cancel the subscription nobody uses, even though everyone suddenly becomes its legal defense team the moment cancellation is mentioned. That is how money becomes a normal household conversation, instead of a mystery everyone tiptoes around. Allowance can still be useful. It just needs a job. Household responsibility, commission work, 3 buckets, and no automatic rescue. Simple does not mean easy. The hard part is holding the line when your child is disappointed, when they ask again, when everyone else has it, and when peace costs $8.99. Some days you will cave. The pattern matters more than the occasional tired moment. So the next time the Friday moment comes, maybe it does not need to become a speech. Maybe the child still waits by the counter. Maybe the money still changes hands. But this time, the parent asks one extra question. What did you do to earn this? Or, where is this money going? Or, what are you saving for? Small questions, small amounts, small choices. That is how Friday changes. The wallet opens. The money changes hands. The child is already halfway to their room. The love is real. So is the lesson. And next Friday, that same quiet moment will come back around, ready to teach again. If this made you look at one ordinary money moment differently, subscribe to Raised to Spend. We're looking at the quiet ways kids and parents learn money at home, one small habit at a time.